The Troubadour started 60 years ago this year, so in 1954. A couple called Michael and Sheila Van Bloemen, who were slightly bohemian for their era. And they set up the live music venue downstairs, and this was a coffee house. I think they were magnetic to certain people, so the likes of Richard Harris and Oliver Reed used to work here as out-of-work actors. Ken Russell would come and take photographs with objects from the Troubadour, including the waitresses, and he titled the series of photographs Troubadour Coffee House Girls, which you can still see online today. Downstairs in the music venue, they had people like Bob Dylan before he performed anywhere else in London, Paul Simon, Marianne Faithfull. In the middle was another owner called Bruce Rogerson, who had it for 26 years. He bought it on the understanding that he would keep the Troubadour as it was when he took it on, which meant that during the 70s and the 80s, when lots of other places were losing the marble and the wood and getting in the formica, Bruce just kept it as it was. So the coffee house, the coffee pots in the window, he even had a photograph of how they were laid out, and if he ever cleaned it, he put them back up as per his photograph, which is just extraordinary, really. So we took on, in '98, 16 years ago, a property that was almost identical to what it had been in 1954, which is a real gift. We have expanded into the building on either side, which has allowed us to have 120 capacity in the club, so we can now get modern bands. Very intimate still, very special and a nice atmosphere. On the whole, you either get it or you don't, and there are people who don't get it. It's in Chelsea, perhaps it shouldn't be shabby chic in their eyes, but it enables people to come in here and forget about their worries outside. It puts its arms around you and it says, calm down, sit down, have a cup of coffee, no hurry. I mean, I had a lovely lady called Angela who came in 2 weeks ago, and she brought in the original photograph of a 1964 photograph that had been in Time magazine, which was taken by her husband, and it was literally of the keyboard and 4 people sitting around that table with a candle, and an incredibly atmospheric photograph. And obviously her husband died several years ago, but she felt that she wanted to share this original photograph with us at the Troubadour. That's a very special moment. Obviously be talking about it a lot on the social media, on Twitter when I get it going, better than Facebook. I'm also a member of the Chamber of Commerce, Kensington Chelsea Chamber of Commerce, so I will try and get them involved, and I will try and get Kensington Chelsea Council involved, because they, I think, are beginning to understand that they need to look after small businesses in the borough. We will do an offer which will either be a discount or it'll be sort of buy 3 bottles of wine for the price of 2 in the wine shop. Or we might even have a special dish that is, the special small business Saturday dish. 100 businesses chosen throughout the whole of the UK. To be one of them, I think, is really special. So thank you, whoever chose us. I think we need to shout to the normal person out there saying, you've got all these fantastic small businesses in the UK, you need to support them. It's getting more and more difficult for them to compete with the chains, to compete with the large supermarkets. And unless you support them, all we're going to have are the chains and the large supermarkets. Let's keep the individual, keep the specialness, keep the uniqueness.